In the back of this boot is something very special. It's an Alphard V2 club booster. We're going to be testing this remote control trolley conversion kit, which costs $599 in the UK. So a lot cheaper than some of the big boy competitors out there that offer remote control trolleys. That's in. So that weren't too hard, were it, Dan?
Oh, quite brave for a first attempt.
What do you think to looks wise? It's a bit of a beast, isn't it, really?
It's quite big, but do you know what? I mean, it looks quite steady and well built, doesn't it?
I don't mind it being big.
No?
I like that it's got the indentations on here, you know, for a trolley bag, for a stand bag.
Right.
Because I do use a stand bag.
So it holds it nice.
And also, them rubber features there, you know, so it doesn't scratch the stand.
Yep.
You don't get that on a lot of trolleys. So they've obviously been thinking.
No, it definitely looks well put together.
So we're going to be reviewing this trolley today. We've got a list of tests that we're going to do on it. I mean, it's half the price. I mean, what do you pay for a motor caddy remote? About $12.99.
Yeah, they're touching over $1,000.
Stewart's are around about 1,500 quid. So for $599, you can convert your own trolley into a remote control. Now this is going to be the moment of truth. This is the first time as well, guys. We have got a few extra features on this trolley, which we'll talk about. But let's fire her up.
Oh no, bear in mind there's cars about.
So you've got your battery meter, Dan, if you want to have a look at that. So that's your battery indicator, saying we're fully charged. That's smart, that. I'm buzzing, Dan. I feel like a kid at Christmas.
You love a toy, don't you?
Oh, we've got another accessory to put on it, by the way.
Go on.
We've got the stabilisers to put on. So what I'll do, guys, I'll put a list up on screen now of the trolleys that this is compatible with. But if you haven't got one of them trolleys, when you buy the actual club booster, at the time you buy it, they offer you this trolley for an extra £100. But if you try and buy that trolley on its own, without the club booster, they're $279. So, I mean, if you haven't got a trolley, I think that works out pretty good value, $699. So I have done a little bit of research on this trolley. One of the most important features, I think, is this lock button. Because obviously the remote's going to end up in your pocket, and the last thing you want is to accidentally press it and that trolley wander off. So I've got it locked at the minute. 363 yards, and I'm equipped with a yellow ball today because with these sunny conditions, I'm finding it difficult to seat balls. Well, it's straight down middle. This is a good start. So in this trolley, there's a feature that when the ground's uneven like this, it keeps itself straight. I'd like to try and think a name. I think it's called an omnimeter.
Gyroscope.
You know, you've got it. Is it a gyroscope?
I think they call it gyroscope access, 6-point access.
That's quite a bit of an incline there, and it's doing well. It's keeping itself straight on the slope. Now, one of the main features of the actual trolley is it's got like a shopping trolley front wheel, you know, like a spinny wheel. But that wheel can be locked. So I want to just test what it's like when it is locked, because there'll be a lot of you guys at home that's probably got a push trolley that the wheels just, you know, like, what would you call it?
Like nice. It's just a fixed position, isn't it?
A fixed position. So if we fix it in, let's see how it performs with a fixed front wheel, and whether you really need to sort of, you know, really buy their trolley. Will it work better? I mean, it works.
It's still turning, isn't it?
It still turns, it's functional, but I prefer it with a spinny front wheel.
Well, you can just turn it on the spot then, can't you?
I'm not going to lie. For an extra £100, I think I'd definitely opt into their trolley. You see how it's a bit like, it's dragging?
Yeah, turning circles a bit wider, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not as good. Let's just flip that front wheel off. I mean, look at that now. It's just smoother, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, some pull trolleys do have a spinny wheel, some don't, but it's definitely worth bearing in mind. I think it works so much better if you've got a spinny front wheel.
Again, guys.
Whilst we've got the laser out and measuring this distance, we're going to get straight in there. We're going to test its range down. So we'll see how far it can go. Now, there's a feature on here. Once it gets to a certain distance, it actually stops. So it's a bit of a safety feature. So it'll only go so far. You can't lose it as such. It's 166 to pin. I think I'm going to hit. It's a bit wet today. I'm going to hit a 7-iron. Not try to blast it. Stay there. I think it's on.
Look good to me. Nice shape.
Off she goes. I'll put her on full speed. Do you know what? I'm actually going to use this, you know. I think it's so nice to just have that freedom of, you know, not having to push a trolley or carry it.
Yeah.
You're going to see this a lot on the channel.
And it works even better for you having extra things to carry as well.
Well, I'd have never ever dreamt of buying a remote control trolley down. I'm not going to lie. I mean, obviously. Oh, it stopped.
Stop. Only problem is we ain't got rangefinder, so we don't know. Oh, you have?
Oh,
Oh, he's ahead of the game.
I'm one step ahead.
Oh, Anna, we're going to have a guess first.
It looks about 50 yards, doesn't it?
I think that's more than 50.
They're going to have done a round number, I'm sure.
I'm saying that's 68.
It's 55 yards.
Oh.
That's not bad.
No, that's good.
Because to be fair, like, you don't want it to go sort of like, for me personally, I won't want it to go 200 yards.
No, it'll end up in a
Because
pond.
if you accidentally press the button or you forget to lock the button, you know, who knows where it's going to end up.
Yep.
At least it's in sight, isn't it? So if you does get away from you, it can't go that far that you can't see it. If you hit a really good shot and you manage to hit a green, you can grab your putter, and on this remote, you've got the 15 and 30 yard button. So just direct it to where you want to go, press 15, and you can head to the putting green. Dare I not look, Dan?
You're doing the no look. I've got faith.
I'm not looking. Has it stopped?
It stopped.
If I make birdie, I'll chuck a discount code in description. I'm only joking. I've got a link, guys, which I will put in the description, and that should get you a little bit of discount if you're in market for one. We'll take an opening par. I'm so excited to sort of get back onto trolley.
You're not even bothered about putting, are you?
Let's see if it picks straight back up from here. It should do, shouldn't it? Take the lock button off. Yeah, here we go. What shall I call her?
I don't know, but I can tell you're excited already, aren't you?
She needs a name. I think I might let subscribers choose. What shall we call her?
It's got to be something beginning with A, surely, with it being, what is it, Alphard?
Alpha.
So she can be like an Anne or Annie.
Shaniqua. Right, 144 yards. I've got an upgraded part on that trolley. I don't know if it's something I'd buy as an extra optional, but we're going to test it. So it's a follow feature, but it doesn't come standard with a trolley. I think the whole idea of this is to get people into a remote control trolley on a budget. So obviously for $5.99 you can attach it to your own trolley. For $6.99 you get their trolley, which comes with an umbrella holder as well. And we'll have a little bit of a close look at the actual trolley, but so far I'm impressed by it. Enough that, you know, I wouldn't be interested in connecting it to my own trolley. I really like that spinning front wheel, which my trolley hasn't got. So I'm going to stick with using it on their unit. I just can't see in that sun. While we've got a few slopes here down, we're going to go off-road. We're going to go 4x4 in. Let's see how it takes these.
I guess the test is, can Gary Martin tip it over?
Look at that, front wheels up in air. It's like an hooligan. I think there's one thing we can say, it's not going to fall.
Famous last words, but it doesn't look like it, does it?
No. So Dan's just mentioned a great point off camera, is these stabilisers are adjustable. He said that front wheel's getting up in air, you know, obviously we could tip that if we carry on anymore. But because I went intending on, you know, taking it off-road so much, I was thinking I don't want these wheels dragging on grit or dragging on road and annoying me. So I set it in its like least forgiving position. but there's loads of extra room. If you want to get them stabilisers fixed down on ground, if you're on a hilly course, or you want to put it under some strain and testing, then you can set that up a lot more than we have. But it was a good point, Dan. Well, I'm really happy with that. You know, it's proven that for the kind of terrain that we're playing on, it can
handle it.
It can handle it, yeah. I've got your putter out.
Have you?
Shall I have a putt with it?
Why not?
What length did you order?
34.
Do you know what? I could feel a difference, but not £399 of a difference. It felt, it feels softer with that shafting off face.
Everyone said the same, yeah. I think that's the difference.
It's a different feel and feedback.
Another good putt.
You don't have to walk backwards to go and get your bag. You can just direct it. Oh, head covers fell off.
He's lost my head cover.
Now that's obviously a learning curve. Make sure your head cover's braced on. So 15-4 dog leg, it's 370. But you can't really hit it any further than around about sort of 200 yards off at tee, unless you want to sort of try and draw it around and get aggressive. But we're just going to aim at that bunker. Try and put ourselves in position. If we get this right, we're going to leave about 160, 170 in. A little bit toe in, a little bit tighter to the corner than I would have liked. It might just be a shot that requires a bit of draw. Now, if you want to use the follow function, you press the F on the side. So it's going to follow from behind. So that means as I walk, it'll follow me. Or you can select for it to follow you from the left or the right. So I like to have it, oh, well, we're going to test it in behind. I think that's the most sensible.
Yep.
So as I start walking, oh, we haven't switched that on, have we? Let's get it on follow. Yeah, you see how that's now following. So this white line is following the remote. So wherever that goes, the trolley's going to want to follow. So I'll walk. That's not too bad, is it?
It follows you and it stopped when you stopped.
I like that. 161, and then I think we need to be testing or trying to find a bit of a downhill to see what it's like, you know, downhill control. It's got a bit of a built-in braking system, which is supposed to be quite good. If it's got the legs, it's online. It's just front at green. I think what is good about this, you know, in winter in UK, obviously, there's a lot of golf courses where there'll be areas roped off. You can kind of get your putter, get the right one this time, and then you can direct it. You know, obviously, we aren't going too close to green, and then you've not got to go back for it, have you?
What you're saying is you're going to save your legs.
Oh yeah. Like we've got some white lines here where you're not supposed to take your trolley, so I can just direct that where we're going next. Steady, steady. Bit too much. Oh!
I mean, it rolled end over end. I think you just...
Yeah.
Line weren't great.
Didn't get it lined up well. So there's a couple of cool little features on this trolley. If you do forget to charge your remote, you can actually use the app to control your trolley. So it pairs up with your trolley as a remote, as a backup remote, as a spare. And also, there's a feature that if you do actually forget to charge the device, because it happens, a amount of members that come in, oh, I forgot to charge my battery, you can just turn the trolley off and it'll release the gearbox and it can be used then as just a push trolley. And that just pushes as a normal trolley. Both wheels are disengaged from gearbox and it just works as a normal trolley. But hopefully we won't be using that feature because I'm getting used to this too much now. Right, Dan, there's some big accountability if this goes wrong. We're going to test its obviously downhill control, so we'll try it on the slowest speed. I mean, it's quite safe to say it's holding itself, isn't it?
Yeah, it has like an automatic braking system, doesn't it?
If we just speed it up a little bit, it's not sort of losing its control. And the best thing about this is when you press stop, it's actually got a brake on it. So it's not just stopping, it's stopping with a brake in.
Yeah.
So it locks in. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna test myself any further, because I actually do really like this trolley, if you've not recognised already. I'm buzzing with it, Dan, honestly.
It's performing well, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's safe to say this will not be the last time you see the Club Booster V2 on the channel. It's going to be my new toy. And I think, do you know what, with a follow feature, I think it could be a really good help to me. It's like a new member of staff, you know, especially on days when I'm going to be filming on my own. And yeah, I'm buzzing with it. And I don't think there'll be anybody who buys one of these, whether you buy it at $5.99 or you buy the $6.99 package that I've got, that'll be disappointed. And I think that'll be probably shared through other reviews, and you know, obviously people who bought these get in the comments, obviously, you know, share your opinion. But I'm genuinely buzzing, Dan.
It's a nice bit of kit, isn't it?
It's a nice bit of kit. I think it looks great. It's been absolutely faultless to use, and you know, it's a saving of probably half of what you'd spend with a big brands, and it just does everything it says on the tin.